Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Lazarus. We're now on to episode 3. So in the last episode, we started to chase down some of the clues to get us closer to finding Dr. Skinner. We got some history on him, the Wikipedia version, so it's really not that informative, but it was enough for them to get an idea somewhat of the kind of person he was before he decided to turn on the world. I personally feel like there's some devils in the details there that they need to kind of, sift through. But anyways, we saw the team split up and went to 2 different places, and both of them ended up encountering some unexpected delays, but unfortunately neither of them was any closer to finding Skinner. They just were able to find that there was some more research happening and some shady stuff that was going on at both sites. So anyways, that's pretty much how we ended the episode, so I'm ready to get into the next one and see where we go from here. So let's do that, but just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now.
ただ楽しく生きていけないのかな。そう思ってた時にハプナが発売された。中には失恋の痛みにも効くって人もいて、そんなことあるかななんて思ったりした。
I mean, if you're completely numb.
いいのかな。本当は騙されてんじゃないかな。
Interesting. I like that we're kind of hearing different perspectives and reasons for why people took Hapna outside of its clinical intended use. Yep. Maybe? Possibly. Or Skinner wanted... Okay. Yeah, like Skinner would have fanboys for sure. Okay. I could do it too. Or they just like him. If he's willing to talk. Y'all just shake on it and get over it. Come on. You should really be more angry at the girl. She's the one who duped you into getting caught. Really? Especially with a name like Jane Doe. Really? You're falling for that? He doesn't even know who you are. But okay. Why is the ER this bad? Ew! He did not cover his mouth at all. I kind of like the animation for his dreads are actually better than not. Really? Not so secret anymore. But then why do you have a band though then, ma'am? But I guess as an agent she could have the skills to disappear too. He might be. The plants are still doing remarkably well. Hey, hello. Don't do that. It's very loud for the fish. That guy. Look a little bit like Skinner. Oh? Maybe. Probably not. I mean, but keep it. Yeah, you don't know. Maybe he's working on something else. Oh. Oh, so that is Jerry. Was Jerry. Okay. Sweet. A little bit. Sure. That makes sense. Facts though, that's how it happens. That is exactly what they said. Oh! The dean! Oh, that was good of him. Good story. That sucks. And I completely understand why he punched him, but he should have graduated and then won the Nobel Peace Prize, then punched him. I get it, but sometimes you gotta just wait on that retribution, you know? Oh, there you go.
ご無沙汰してます。こんなに落ちぶれてて。いえ。
I mean, it could happen to anyone, at any time.
連絡を取ってないんだ。まさか彼の作った薬に殺されるとは思ってもみなかったがね。
Yeah, a lot of people don't go in inventing medicine for that reason.
スキナーは外から見れば立派な人間に見えるだろう。
Okay, but
勉強に没頭すると周りが見えなくなる。
okay.
でも彼が時代の寵児になっていくのを見て正直嫉妬したよ。
Okay.
なんとか結果を出したい。
Well, maybe you should have stayed working with him.
研究結果を捏造した。
Oh, that's why you lost your job. Jealousy will rot you to the bone, sir. I mean, you didn't say there was rules against running up on the wall.
研究室でバクラバの話が盛り上がってな。
Baklava is delicious.
確かイスタンブールにいるとか言ってたな。
Okay.
今も生きてるかどうかわからん。
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
あの時はありがとうございました。
Yes, thank you. You did do the right thing, at least at one point.
アクセルはああやってどこにでもスッと入り込んじゃうの。刑務所だろうとどこだろうとね。じゃあな、ジル。またおいで、アクセル。待ってるからね。
You can tell Axel actually makes good friends too. Very go with the flow. But interesting. Grandmother's a hard lead though. I mean, how old is she? I mean, would she have any of those things if she was in Istanbul?
本当にいるんですかね。
Well, she might have.
ちゃんくらいいるでしょ。
Right?
この辺りは治安がとにかく悪くて有名で、監視カメラも映像データもないんです。
直接行って確かめりゃいいんだろ。
He's like, let's do it.
ハイパーキューブで6時間ほどです。
Hypercube. What's a hypercube? Where are they, by the way? I have no idea where their base is. Come to think of it. Are they in Europe, I guess? Turkey's looking pretty shiny. Oh, well, over there.
なんだその服。いや、
Look around, bro. Who are you blending in with? Who?
帰って目立ってますかね。
No! Unless you're planning on going to a mosque?
僕たち決して怪しいもんじゃ。
Really?
めちゃめちゃ怪しいけどな。
Right? Like, you don't look like you've ever been here before, bro. You see everybody just dressed in Western clothing, and this is what you choose to wear. His fighting style is really fun in animation. I like watching it. It's like a cross between gymnastics and capoeira. You should have given a heads up at least 2 minutes before. Yeah. Thank you. No, take the damn tea. Oh yeah, they could just cut your whole hand off. Careful as a baby.
Belinda?
That's stopping them. Right? He's like, I didn't think that'd work.
ハーシはなぜリーランドを行かせたんだ。俺たちの方が適任だろう。
Must have been a reason.
やっぱ孫っぽいから。
True. But they did say that Homie can make himself at home everywhere he goes.
これはあんたらの分だ。
Wow, okay, they are about that baklava. She must put some crack in it. Let's put a little crack on that stuff.
も根は悪い子じゃないんだ。
Really? They were about to cut my hand off.
と食べ。
Whoa, breathe, bro. Could have been poisoned and y'all just ate it all.
シークレットエージェントなんです。
もしかしてジェームス・ボンド？
Yeah.
最近は
Too late, you
そう
already
いう
did.
のどんどん告知していくスタイルなんで。
But honestly, I don't think lying to her would do well.
持ってんのかい？
No. Very interesting, though. He doesn't kill people. He had that gun. He could have taken out those kids multiple times.
子はちっちゃい頃両親を亡くしてね。
We heard.
普通の子だったよ。
Was he?
優しくて泣き虫の。
If you say so.
私にとっちゃあの子はずっと可愛い孫のままなんだ。
That's all right. That's probably what's keeping you alive.
珍しいチューリップでめったに咲か
That's
ないらしい
probably
ん
the
だ
key
け
to
ど
what's
ね。
inside of Hapna.
動かんな。
どこで油振ってんの？
The way you have no faith in them.
ちょっと難しそうなんだ。
Where's she going?
これから大勢の人間を殺そうとするような人には見えないですね。
Yeah, things aren't always what they seem.
あいつはどっかで見てるはずだ。
I agree.
多分ビリンダに何かあった時のために。
Yeah, I don't think he would leave her unguarded.
よう好きな見てんのか。俺がもうすぐ捕まえてやるから首洗って待っとけ。
Was that the hacker?
かかった。
何？どこ？
ドクター909の隠しウォレットを見つけました。
デストロイ。
I guess it turns out it's a good idea that he provoked him. Got the hacker to slip up. How interesting. How interesting. Okay, well, episode 3, we got some more movement. You know, kind of what I said already about how it was the details, you know, and the little things inside of his biography that people were kind of just glossing over. And I'm like, these are going to be the important things, the breadcrumbs that are going to lead you to Skinner, because I don't think he's a diabolical mastermind. They've already kind of established that that's not really the kind of guy he is. However, you know, the fact that he's willing to take these desperate measures, which again, I feel like if they ever do find this guy, he's going to give them a speech about how he never really intended to, you know, like he probably has an antidote. My guess is that he already said he did. I think he was planning on releasing the antidote at some point, but I think he's really trying to drive some type of change. Like I'm getting, you know, a radical activist more than I'm getting a terrorist. Like I don't think that's really where he's coming from. Like, you know, we've heard so far that since he's been a child, he's been passionate about climate change and about the environment and about making the world a better place. And he's tried to, and you know, we saw that one of the last public appearances he made, he was trying to like get the world leaders to recognize that the earth is being damaged and that they need to start doing things now, and no one's listening. And you know, the drugs, you know, the metaphors that they keep showing, especially with the little tableaus we're getting at the beginnings of the episodes, the fact that, you know, he's noticed that humanity in general is looking to numb themselves more than they are looking at trying to lock in and figure out how to make the world a better place. That's how he knew that Hapna would be the way to potentially create an opportunity, which he did, of radicalizing the world. Now, I don't think it's going to go according to the way he thinks, right? He's saying, come find me, but I think his point in come find me, right? Because that seems like a silly, like, does that solve the problem, right? Like wiping out humanity will, yeah, or wiping out a good chunk of humanity, because let's be real, there's probably whole societies that didn't have access to Hapna, but wiping out the majority of society would absolutely give the world a breath, right? A break from all of the mass destruction, but it's not a solution, really and truly. And does it really make, you know, him a hero? Like the whole point, the planet, the idea that the planet is supposed to exist without people is crazy, right? Like, what is the point of that? I mean, there are some people that are that, you know, that's obsessed with the idea of healing the planet that they're like, yeah, all of humanity can go. But, you know, the earth is for humans. You know, yes, humans have absolutely abused the crap out of it and we don't deserve it at the moment. But really, everything about earth was created to sustain life, whether that be human and animal, right? It's not meant to just sit idly. So all that to say that I don't think Skinner really wants to wipe out humanity. I do think he's very fed up with them, don't get me wrong. But I think this whole come find me thing is so that the people will actually take the breadcrumbs of learning, not only about his life, but probably his work and why he's so passionate, and hopefully motivate the right people to make some real changes. I feel like that's what this is going to be all about. But anyway, that kind of brings me back to the devil being in the details. Like the fact that when they went to go meet this former professor, the professor mentioned that, you know, he was always talking about his grandma's baklava. Like that was a clue. Like that's about his personal life, something that would not have ended up in a report or in a Wikipedia page about him, or most people would not have cared about the fact that he liked baklava. But it was something that led them to Istanbul. His grandma somehow still being alive. That woman's got to be over 100 years old, but okay. And hearing more about who he was as a person, right? And then they also figure out the fact that he clearly has got eyes on his grandmother, which makes sense. So, as I said, they're going to have to look at the details, the more abstract things, and that's probably where their guy is going to turn out to be a good, you know, our little prison breaker. He thinks sideways. He's not a very logical, straightforward thinker in that way. He's very in the moment, very impulsive, but I think that's going to be exactly what they need in order to think of ways to get to him that are not like your standard procedure, which he would have already understood. Skinner, I mean. But yeah, we heard Jill say that Axel's the kind of person that makes himself home everywhere he goes, right? So that's exactly, I think, why he was sent for this mission. I think that everybody else would have been either too fake or too stiff. And that's not going to work with, trying to get endeared, endear yourself to somebody enough to open up to you. And I feel like Grandma opened up to the boys because they did seem like they probably reminded her to some degree of Axel, right? So anyway, yeah, Axel's definitely going to be key in a lot of ways because he's not as methodical or as kind of in his head as the other ones are. Them getting to find and meet Jill and, learn about the situation. It looks like most of the world is set up kind of the same way as the home base, in that you've got the extraordinarily rich areas and you've got the poverty-stricken areas. And we find out, Jill was saying that she didn't want to give up the location of this former professor, but thankfully they discovered that, through the story that we got, basically from, oh gosh, what is his name? Doug. But Doug opening up, because we haven't heard much from Doug outside of episode 1 where he's pretty buttoned up, but Doug opening up and talking about the fact that he faced racial discrimination against him from the dean of his university, despite the fact that clearly the fact that he'd made it into this program and was doing quite well proved that he was very intelligent and capable of doing this work. But having that extraordinarily racist remark being made against him and basically, said to his face in that situation, like, as I said, Doug did not do the right thing by popping him in the face. I understand the sentiment, but the fact that this doctor or this other fellow doctor, scientist, whatever, stood up for him in that, and even though he still would have gotten expelled, of course, because you can't assault the dean and expect to stay there. But like he said, he really wanted a chance to thank him for standing up for him, even though it didn't work out this way. And I'm guessing that him being expelled from school and all those things is probably what led him to whatever caused him to end up with one of these wristbands and working for this organization. But yeah, I'm honestly, first of all, kudos to this show for even putting this in. I know that this is a co-production with an American company, but it's very rare that in an anime that if they do include people who are not supposed to be white or Asian, they don't usually talk about things like racial discrimination. So I kind of like that they threw something like that in. I don't want that to always be the story when we have black people in these types of things, but it's a very realistic situation, unfortunately. So anyways, kudos to them for putting it in despite that. And yeah, we see that was what opened up Jill's heart enough to give up the location and get them on their mission. So yeah, so far I think everyone, the right people have been chosen for the right jobs in all this. And so I'm liking that. I'm liking seeing how different people in different areas are working to get this case solved, including the hacker who figured out that the fact that when they try to do facial recognition for Skinner, they end up with over 100,000 of them, that it's a hacker's doing. Well, you need someone at that level to even begin to know where to unravel that. So far so good. I'm still enjoying this. I think it's kind of fun the way that they're going about this, and I'm interested to kind of figuring out what Skinner's ultimate agenda is in here, see if my theory is right. But I think we're a long ways from that yet. So yeah, this is a good episode. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.